you anyway?
Oh, not too bad. I think probably the same as everyone, really, at the moment. It's
Yeah. With right. Let's start from the beginning. So, what got you into music? What was your bands when you were growing up?
oh gosh, sort of all over the place as a kid, I guess. First thing that off the top of my head that struck me music wise that really sort of hit me between the eyes was probably Iron Maiden. I remember, I think it might have been on holiday in Wales or something like that as a kid, and walking past a record store and seeing a poster, an old poster at the time for Killers, and just being like, I don't know what that is. It looks evil, and I would like to know more. And pretty much it all went to hell after that. Really.
Yeah, I know that feeling. My very first concert I went to was Iron Maiden, and it was in Newport, and it was the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son tour, and I'm a massive Kiss fan, and my parents wouldn't let me go up to London, up to Wembley to see Kiss, so they said, "Okay, you can go down to Newport." So I was like, "Oh, brilliant!" And I remember sitting there and going, "Oh my, what is this?" There's a giant coming up through the stage. I'm like, "Oh my god, the bloody singers running around." I was way gone. It was, and then after that, then it was Vixen, and that's another story.
It's funny though; it never leaves you, does it? That's
no. It's like when I talk about my concerts which I went to, like Vixen I was a teen. I was looking at these stunning women on stage. I was like, oh my god, they must see me. I'm in love with them. I want the posters. It was the most perverted thing I've ever done in my entire life as a teen. I was definitely undressing them as I was looking at them. Like, did you have any concerts which like stick out for you, like your first ones and that?
Gosh. Okay, there's one, but I don't know if it so much sticks out as I've seen a lot of posts on social media recently about the Astoria and how pointless it was knocking it down. And I remember seeing, I think it was Deftones and Will Haven there when I was at college. I'd gone up with a friend of mine who, bizarrely enough, ended up playing drums for Florence and the Machine for many years, and we were both a little bit, sort of bright-eyed. It's big city, unsupervised, and I just remember it being completely packed, like Will Haven completely blowing my mind, like never heard them before, and just been struck by that sort of wall of shrunk, for want of a better term. And I just remember Deftones playing and crowd surfers everywhere. Like even in the gents, there was people crowd surfing. It was I don't think I've been to maybe a gig with that sort of level of youthful idiocy in quite ever, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I've got so many stories about being an adult and acting like a kid in the concert where alcohol has been involved. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We went to see American Air Charge in Cardiff, and we were having rounds and all that going up. So it was my turn to go up to the bar. So bought 2 pints of lager, went back, handed it to my mate and all that, and we were a bit drunk. And the next thing, I don't know what happened, but he went, "Oh, fuck this." He threw his pint up in the air and then just grabbed about 3 or 4 people. And then the next thing I saw was him on the floor. What possessed him? But I was like looking at him going, "I just bought you that fucking pint and you've just thrown it away."
Well, yeah, venue prices as well. Like, even then, it wasn't that cheap.
Yeah, but
Wouldn't do it now, that's for sure.
God, no. It's like bloody gold dust. So what's it like running a magazine during COVID?
Weird. We've done magazines. Well, we still do magazines outside of COVID. We started off with a magazine called Big Cheese, which was sort of started off skate culture and all that kind of stuff, and then the terrible ska punk movement, and then emo. It's getting worse and worse. Then we launched a magazine called Vive la Rock, which is more for sort of the old punks, like for fans of rock and roll and punk and new wave across the board there. We also do a hardcore magazine called Down for Life, which, well, is just about hardcore. And it all sort of came about weirdly because of this sort of creative blockage with everything. Like usually if I'm not writing for magazines, I'm off filming or taking photos. Like I keep busy, and not being able to do that during the whole lockdowns and everything. Like I think the last gig I filmed was the Mission in Birmingham in maybe last February or last March.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a case of like a few of us were at a loose end, so we just thought, "Sod it, let's do it." And so far, fingers crossed, touch wood, it's going pretty well. Response to the first issue has been really good. Hopefully, they'll like the second one, which we're sort of releasing that, publishing that. I think it should be in shops by the end of next week, possibly, and obviously online at the end of the next week. I mean, I suppose the difference is there's a lot more sort of mail order sales and iPad versions, that sort of thing, like online versions of it. Apart from that, not much difference, apart from not being able to go out and review bands or interview bands face to face.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest one.
Yeah, I totally sympathise with you, because what I've done with my website, because like the last concert I went to, because I set up my website to bring awareness to PTSD and mental illness through music and through film. And so I would probably say 92% is heavy metal. Heavy metal, from extreme all the way through to classic rock. And but I have tried to do other concerts. So my very last one I went to was Louise Redknapp, which was last month.
of all people.
Yeah, I got.
God, if you think if there's no more gigs ever, that's going to be your, that's going to be the one that's going to stick in your head, isn't it? I'm really sorry.
Well, the next one's supposed to be is Pussycat Dolls.
Wow. Okay. Well.
And I'm meeting them and all that. So, but that's if it happens. And but what I've taken to now is, because we haven't got the concerts and all that, there's so many bands now which are doing the live stream.
Of course, yeah.
So I've done a section on my website called Social Live.
Mm.
I'm reviewing the actual concert
Oh,
on.
like the live streams of,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what I'll be doing, I'll be getting in contact with the artists which are doing it. Like Andy's been helping me out when new artists or some heavy metal bands are doing it, and he's got connections with that. So then they send me promo shots from the concert.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I do the review. So that's how I've managed to keep in with doing reviews of concerts.
Yeah.
Because, there's so many which are doing it now, and it's very, very hard, I find, because I'm doing all these interviews, and I'm just thinking, well, there's only so much you can keep asking a band. So I'm noticing, I'm like repeating the questions, bar 3 or 4 questions, going, right, well, how are you doing, COVID? How are you doing? And
Yeah.
it's very difficult to keep pushing forward when you've got all this. But like yourself, I go to concerts and all that. I do a review. I do the photography from the pit. So I'm just waiting for that to happen again, because it's.
I know exactly what you mean. I just miss that feeling of being down there past the photo barrier.
Yeah.
And just the camaraderie as well between everyone that's sort of working a show is.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff. I film a lot of stuff for Academy events, which do like the O2 venues around the country, like O2 Brixton and O2 Glasgow and all that kind of stuff. And it's quite nice, actually. We've all stayed in touch, even though a lot of them are furloughed. And, you know, in theory, they probably want to be spending more time with their proper mates. But instead, we've been doing like a weekly video call with all of us together. I had my had my 40th birthday in lockdown last weekend, so a lot of them surprised me on a very drunken Zoom call then, and it's just that level of sort of camaraderie that you don't really get in a lot of jobs.
Yeah, well, it's like on my channel, on my YouTube channel, I do collections as well, like music, vinyl, like Marvel collections, DC, Star Wars, and things like that. And all it is like, I can't go out and show them me going around the shop, because in Wales we're in lockdown, the same as England, so we can't do it. Every single thing you do it is like just repeating yourself over and over and over again. So
yeah, no, it's just been stuck in Groundhog Day a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And but that's the one thing about it. It's so challenging, but then you get to a point where you think, right, I'm either gonna not do it, or let's find a way that we can move forward and still do the reviews and interviews and things like that. And it's just adapting to the situation. And I think like when you see a band going, right, I'm doing a live stream, because the first ones I saw doing that was a tribute band, which was Twisted System.
Oh, okay.
And they were the very first ones which I saw. Like, hang on a sec. Oh, they were going to a venue. They were or the rehearsal areas. It was all done up with Twisted Sister stuff, and they were like doing, right, I'm going to do Stay Hungry in its entirety. Then a couple of weeks later, they would do classic Twisted Sister songs. So I was
just
like,
switching it up each time.
Yeah, and then other artists I started seeing do it, and I was like, this is a way of going forward. And
Yeah, at least it gives you something, you know. So it's not
yeah,
just like music is ground to a shuddering halt
yeah,
throughout all this. I mean, I suppose as well that you could talk about the levels of how the levels of quality, I suppose, or let's say rather than quality, how bands approach doing live streams. Like, I I can think a few things I'd rather not do than watch somebody do an acoustic performance
yeah,
on a camera. Like, I'd sooner shit in my hands and clap than uh,
yeah,
than watch that. But then you've got ones like I saw the Armin Ra one on the Bloodstock Festival live stream, which was
yeah,
crazy. Like, they had drones and fires, and
yeah,
it was like a full length music video. And I've got a couple of friends that run a live streaming company called Hotel Radio, and they've been doing cool things, and sort of creating a little online community,
yeah,
streaming bands like Venom Prison, and I think they did Deicide. Like, some of this was pre-COVID. They were sort of ahead of the game with it,
yeah,
and they've sort of created their own little world. It's if you've not checked it out, it's definitely worth having a gander. I think
yeah,
they're back to doing live streams hopefully in March, dependent on how everything in
yeah,
this country goes.
yeah,
So September, realistically.
yeah. The it's like I watched Behemoth where you were talking about
Mm.
with the drones and things like that. I don't know if you've seen it. Behemoth did it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a show! And that was like from I think it was a church, wasn't it? I was like, oh my god, this is this is brilliant. And you see an artist going, well, trying to go right. We need to do this because Napalm Records do quite a few
Mm.
as well. They get some of the artists to do it because I watched. Oh God, I can't remember the bloody name now. Beyond the Black. I'm not sure,
No,
but they
no.
did it anyway. They and their show was once again. It was like it was like going to a full concert. But the funniest one I've seen was those damn crows.
Oh,
They
okay,
went
yeah.
they went out to Germany to do it, and um, it was live streamed and everything. It was really good. The band were, but it was they were trying to get the crowd going because it was very minimum crowd, and they were
Yeah.
all. Uh, and the crowd weren't moving, they weren't dancing, they weren't singing, they were just all, it was like having bloody dummies there. And I just, what the hell is going on here? Well, that's the Germans, because I actually think if that was in Britain, I think they would have been singing, and
True.
but they were they were very rigid, which was for the band brilliant because they went up on stage and played. It was a live gig doing
Mm.
and all this, but it was a strange atmosphere.
Can imagine. I saw
Yeah,
one on last Saturday, maybe last Saturday. I can't remember. The Hives were doing they were doing a streaming world tour. So from what I can gather, I think they played like 8 dates. Obviously, they're at home in Sweden,
yeah,
and they were just timing these live streams so it would be a decent hour in the UK or a decent hour
yeah,
in America.
yeah,
So that was a bit different. Again, a good show, although their audience sort of interaction. they basically just opened up a phone line so people from anywhere in the world could phone them with predictably awkward results.
Yeah,
It was a bit strange.
I've seen quite a few which have got, obviously, because they go in live, they've got their laptop and then some squinting and all that, trying to get that bit of banter with the crowd and all that. And you're like, what's going on there? Such and such from here is asking us, but it's all good at the end of the day, and it's definitely a way forward, I think, during this time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful that maybe there might be a few gigs towards the end of the year, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't see festivals happening this year again, which sucks. But if it's not safe, it's not safe. You know.
Well, I was saying to my brother about it. At the moment, you've got all the elderly people which are having their vaccinations, and like all the younger ones are going to be towards the latter end of. So unless they're going to do a festival for over 75s, I can't see there being many people. And how do they go about it when it comes to somebody who's had a vaccination to somebody who hasn't? It's like, because if the festival goes ahead and say now I haven't had my vaccination, does that mean that I can claim my money back because I can't go to the concert? So I can't see anything happening this year, to be honest.
Well, I think as well, the thing that perhaps people in the UK are forgetting is that majority of the bands that make up the festival bills and touring circuit is either European or American bands.
Yeah.
And if they're a lot further behind than us with vaccinations, it's it is going to take a while. But I'm next year is none of us are going to be home for the whole year. That will be it.
No,
be gigs every night, pub every night, festivals throughout the summer.
Yeah.
No sleep.
My parents keep saying, "Oh, because they're in lockdown. Oh, we rich. If I was me, I would. Next year, I certainly won't be bloody rich. I'd be out every weekend. I'd be going to concerts every day, and even if it's something like bloody Bucks Fizz.
I mean, yeah, I managed okay without gigs for a while, but yeah, now it's to the point where I'm just need to get out and do that. It's just good for my mental well-being as well, I think.
Yeah,
especially working at them. It's the same. Doing a magazine, it's like you can create something and have like an end result. I guess like doing Lego or a jigsaw, similar sort of thing. Rather than sort of feeling like you're just on this treadmill of doing the same thing over and over again. Like I couldn't work in an office 9 to 5 doing that kind of thing. But doing this kind of job, I get to create things that hopefully most of the time people like, and just keen to carry on with that, really.
With the magazine, you got as you said, you got the new edition coming out very shortly. Is there anything you can do a quick spoiler on? Band-wise?
Sorry, I can't. If we were doing this next week, absolutely not a problem. But I think my publisher would string me up if I did. I can say, if you like the first issue, it's hopefully this one is going to float your boat as well. Just try to pack it full of everything that is good about hard and heavy music, and unearthing a few bands that maybe some people might not have heard of before, but just deserve their time in the sun, really.
No, definitely. I interview quite a lot of new bands, which to the promotion company, and like they send me the music and all that. And before I used to be really rigid, right? No, no, the only thing going on my record player is bloody Kiss, Aiden. But I'm like a new band comes on the scene, like I think it was Skinny Knowledge, new band. I listened to it the other week, about 2 weeks ago. I was like, fuck, this is good, like, and I've opened myself up now, thinking, do you know what? New bands deserve a shot, and I keep saying to my mate, you need to listen to this bloody band, like, and he's where I was, all rigid, oh no, bloody Kiss, Kiss, Kiss. And I'm like, no, you got to listen to this band. You got to listen to these. These are brilliant. And it's like, Release the Archers. Have you listened to them?
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic. Never heard of them before until I started doing this. And I was like, yeah, this is good. Like, and I'm thinking, all right, it's a new album out and all that. They've only come on the scene, and I'm like, good God, no, they've released other albums. But no,
Well,
so
this is the thing, though. You need to, without new bands. I mean, what's going to happen when Iron Maiden can't tour anymore? You know, when all these bands sort of pack it in, there's no, you know, need to be pushing bands up bills to be headliners now.
Yeah.
If anything, like this year, this past year, and probably this year as well, will maybe be good for a bit of a reset with that.
Yeah.
You know, to actually just have these things be reassessed a little bit, and push some of these younger bands.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many bands which are like lower down, like you say. They need to be pushed up. They need to be heading towards, and even if it just means like festivals, like Download, as less people there because of the headliner is not, like you say, Iron Maiden or Metallica, but people will start going, these are good, and eventually they'll get to that period where more people will be coming back because they've had that opportunity.
Well, that's why I love festivals like Bloodstock and Damnation as well in Leeds, because they're lower down the bill. There's always some weirdness and something cool that you might not have perhaps discovered just in your local venue.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That's kind of the way to do it. I mean, I've not been to Download for about maybe 10 years, so I don't know. Maybe Download is different now. But I always struggled as a punter to find anything I really wanted to watch.
Yeah, the thing with Download is just there's so many bands there. There's so many stages that I don't feel that if they had less bands there and just had like 2 major stages, then newer bands would get that opportunity. But Judas Priest on at the same time as a newbie, people are going to go at Judas Priest.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I don't envy the people that book Download at all, because it must be kind of a thankless task.
Yeah.
You know, you left people like us saying, "Oh, put more new bands on," and then other people saying, you know, online like, "Oh, well, why aren't Slayer playing it?" So, well, apart from the fact that there is no Slayer now.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just have the same thing every year. So it must be like being stuck between a rock and a hard place doing that.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I was looking at the lineup for Bloodstock because I'm a big Merciful Fate
Mm.
King Diamond fan, and I was like, oh, I've got to go to this. But when I was going down the actual bands which were there over the weekend, I was like, I've interviewed them, but bloody hell, I've
Mm.
listened to them. Oh, they were brilliant. These are brilliant. And all of a sudden, there's like 3/4 of the bands which are there. I'm like, "Fuck, these are good. But if I hadn't
Mm.
done this, I would have just gone, is it worth me getting a ticket to go and see Merciful Fate? But now it's like, you know what? It's definitely worth doing. So anyway, last question.
Mm.
Future of the magazine. Everything all hunky-dory, looking good?
I hope so. Yeah, no, already got the next, more than the next three. I know what's going in there and what's going on the cover.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, this is just me and a few mates that, you know, when things were normal, we'd just be meeting up, drinking, and talking about heavy metal, and
Yeah.
you know, not a lot's changed really. You know, we're fans first and foremost, and
Yeah.
we just want to keep that enthusiasm going. Really,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
it's like doing this is a joy. You know, there's plus the free records is obviously awesome as well. But you know,
Yeah.
but no, it's just great fun to do, and it will obviously be a lot more fun when we're no longer in the midst of a pandemic,
Yeah, definitely.
and being able to go out and do things. That will be
Yeah.
nice. But yeah, man,
Well,
it's all good. Like working with friends, all the PRs we work with, we tend to go drinking with them as well. Like you know,
yeah.
it's there, there's no other genre of music quite like this in terms of just having a blast.
Yeah. I found that. I find that when I speak to a band manager to do with heavy metal, they can't do enough for you.
Mm.
Other other music, when you've got like you're trying to mix it, oh, it's a nightmare. They don't reply, they're not interested, and you just think it's like I had a rejection. They say, no, at this moment in time, they're not doing interviews. And
Mm.
I'm thinking, you're in the bloody pandemic. They can't go anywhere. They're not doing
Yeah,
anything. So surely this would be time to keep themselves promoted. And but that I don't find that with rock music.
yeah,
It's they can't do enough here, and it's like every now and then I sit there and I think, oh, should I change the bloody name of the website to something more bloody heavy metal? And I put on social media, should I change the name? And everyone, no, what you're doing it for is the main thing. Like you think,
yeah,
yeah, but
exactly. But no, you're right. It's a great community to be a part of. It really is,
yeah,
and it would just be nicer to be part of that community in person rather than virtually. So,
yeah. I the funniest one which I got in contact with, and I wasn't expecting anything back,
mm.
was wow. I reached out to the manager and they were like, "Yeah, is it okay if you do it with Blother?" And I'm like, I'll do it with anyone. I'll do it with the lead guitar tech as long as he's to do with. And, oh, best experience I had. They give me free passes to the live event
mm.
for the album release, and they said when they come over to the UK, yeah, come backstage and all that. And I'm like, hell, this is wow.
Oh, actually, going back to what you were asking at the beginning, like memorable live shows. Another one that's just sort of popped into my head was the first UK tour of Ghost.
Yeah,
I was actually filming for Jägermeister on that tour, so it was Ghost and Gojira and somebody else, and I can't remember for the life of me who else it was, and they're probably going to be really offended if they see this and I've forgotten. But it was a long time ago. But just that level of momentum that band had just
yeah,
after that first album, it was oof, not felt much like that. Like I think it was last night the tour was Brixton, and I
yeah,
think it was quite a short tour, like about 5 dates, something like that. Bristol, some other places I can't remember, and just that feeling being stood in an empty Brixton Academy when they were sound checking,
yeah,
and just feeling like this is the start of something massive.
yeah.
And then a few
I,
hours later, just being hammered and dancing and just having fun.
yeah. I saw them on at Sonosphere
Yeah.
when they had when he was doing Papa Tour. It was the very first time. My mate said to me, "Oh, have you heard about Ghost and all that?" And because of like with Kiss and the stage shows and all that, so I was like,
Mm.
"Oh, let's go and have a listen." And I was like watching it, I was going, "This is dubbed, mate. His bloody lips ain't moving." But I was so far back, I was like, he's bloody. Because you're looking on the screen, it's going, he's not bloody singing. His lips ain't moving. And then obviously, then you go into it, and then you see them live, and you can see his lips slightly moving underneath
Yeah.
the mask. And he went, I didn't know that was a mask. I thought that was in bloody paint, his face paint. Like an idiot, but oh, they, like you say, they I give it a year to 2 years and they'd be headlining download.
Yeah. Yeah. Undeniably. God, you were just saying about Sonosphere. I miss that festival.
Yeah, it was.
That was a lot of fun. Guaranteed fun.
Yeah, it was Iron Maiden and Metallica. I think were the headliners.
Mm.
I think it was the last Sonosphere. It was. I think Metallica did oh, voting. The set list voted for, and
Yeah, that rings a bell.
yeah, and Iron Maiden did made in England tour, the Seventh Son tour, and
God, you've got a better memory than I do.
the only reason why I know that is because I remember Bruce Dickinson flying the Spitfire around around, and they were doing like a bit of a battle in the air, and
Oh, was it the Battle of Britain thing?
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was the Seventh Son tour stage show, and I think it was the first year they did Trooper.
Mm.
I remember them having bars there, selling Trooper.
Gosh, yeah. No, you far better memory than me, man. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I
I,
remember being very drunk at Sonosphere, but
I got photographs on my Facebook of me in bloody Reading Festival, and I'm going, I don't even know what year it was. I'm unconscious on the floor. People taking photos of me just lying on the floor.
yeah, there's a few of those of me online as well. Thankfully, it's all set to private, so don't have to worry.
Well, it's been brilliant talking to you and
Yeah, and you, man.
Zine.
Thank you very
And
much.
let me know if there's anything which I can do. And good luck with it. And I
Thank
can't
you very much.
for the next one to come out?
I'll let you know. I'll be in touch.
Brilliant.
All right,
So,
well, take care. See ya.
and yourself, all right?
All right.
Take care.
Bye.